I have been waiting 6 months for this, and it is finally here. It is mine. I own it. So just like the model kits, we're going to quickly go through the box, see what's all in there. Then we're going to dive into each screw. These aren't screws. We're going to dive into each bag with just a little bit more detail. First thing I found in the box was some new tires. They are made of some very soft and flimsy rubber, and as you can see, they're also branded. The tread pattern is nice and deep. There's also not that ugly mold line going straight down the center of them. They're also staggered, so we have a definite front and rear tires. Now, I have not opened my kit yet. It's still wrapped back there in the background, but from what I've seen, the tires are a little too tall, so these should be just the right profile. Next up, we have a couple baggies full of resin parts. At first I thought these were something to fancy up the exhaust, but later we'll find out that's not the case. Here we have some seatbelt buckles, normal over-the-shoulder style and the 5-point harness. I'm not sure what the metal rods are. And finally, to wrap up the resin bits, we have the brake hardware. Now, I am super excited about these new style rotors. The way Hobby Design used to do it is each individual little vein in there was its own separate photo etch, and you would just stack them to create the proper thickness. We also got an extra rotor head here. That's always appreciated, thank you. And just like the rotor head, we also got a couple extra center caps. I really hope I don't mess them up that bad, but just in case, it's nice to have a few extras. In this bag, we have about 2 pounds of photo etch. There is a lot of metal here. That is a stout piece of metal. Now, this piece I do recognize as a rear grill. The rest of it I am clueless on. As I mentioned earlier, I still have not unboxed that kit. It's still sealed, so I'm going into all this blind. I really have no idea what any of this is. Now this I do recognize as seatbelt hardware. Now, I've been dealing with this stuff for about 2 years now. I do not know if I'm supposed to use it in place of actual fabric for the seatbelts or to use these as templates. I usually skip them and just don't do seatbelts at all. Now these I'm assuming are the cores for the 5 or 6 radiators that this car has. And Now, we all of course know what these are. These are the faces for the brake rotors. Also on this fret we do have the floor mats and all the hardware for the windshield wipers. A few other bits and bobs. We'll find out later what all this is. We also got some window masking. Now, from what I've seen of other people building this kit, Tamiya engineered a little lip down in there. So when we install just a bare glass, it simulates that black trim perfectly. At least in the few builds that I've watched, that's how it looked. So we may not even need this. Also in the box, we get some good high quality bubble wrap. It's good stuff. All the bubbles are still inflated, except that one. That one didn't make it. And finally, we come to a big printout with all the instructions. I'm just going to pan over all this here real quick just so we can see what we're in for. I remember earlier when I thought these were something to fancy up the exhaust. They're actually for the AC vents. That's it for this one though, guys. I have been patiently sitting on this kit just waiting for the aftermarket to finally do something with it. Now, it won't be the next build, probably not the next build, but it will be coming up soon, I promise.